Little girl hugs her father's coffin. What happens next leaves everyone in shock. The cemetery is quiet on a rainy morning, with raindrops pattering on the silent graves, creating an atmosphere full of stillness and melancholy. The ground was soaked, covered with a thin layer of mist, creating a feeling as if time had also stopped in this moment. Amma, a little girl only 7 years old, stood silently beside her father's coffin, Kwame. The little girl did not cry, but her innocent eyes contained a profound sadness that seemed beyond words. She bent down, whispering a farewell to her father, her voice weak but full of love. "Papa, I love you." At that moment, a strange event occurred. A sudden strong wind blew through, causing the yellow leaves on the nearby branches to fall like golden jewels in the stillness of the space. Not stopping there, a white dove, as if descending from the heavens, gently perched on Kwame's chest, where the girl's father was resting. The entire funeral suddenly fell silent. All eyes turned towards the dove, astonished and bewildered. No one understood what was happening. The gloomy sky seemed to calm down, and the raindrops seemed to stop falling. Amma looked up, her bright eyes directed towards the sky, and in a strangely quiet moment, she whispered, her voice full of trust and like a confirmation, "Papa sent it." That statement rang out softly, but made the hearts of everyone at the funeral feel choked. A miraculous feeling, like a miracle, like an invisible thread connecting the emotions between father and son, between life and death, making the surrounding space seem to glow in the midst of pain. Could this strange event be a miracle that the girl's father sent to comfort his daughter? And can family love, no matter how strong, overcome all the challenges that life brings? These questions will accompany Amma on her emotional and strange journey that she is about to face. Kwame Asante, a man of Ghanaian origin, was born in a poor village where every day was a struggle for survival. From a young age, he had to learn to be independent, with no one by his side to teach or protect him. He did all sorts of jobs to make a living, from being a construction worker, laboring in factories, to selling waki plates, the famous fragrant bean rice dish, at the street corner. Each job was hard. Each day was exhausting, but in Kwame's eyes, those were just the first steps on the path he had charted to change his life. Although life is difficult and never easy, Kwame never gives up on his dreams. He always harbored a burning desire in his heart to change his own destiny and bring a brighter future to those around him. He not only wants to enrich himself, but also to help the community, those whom he understands better than anyone else, who are struggling with a difficult life. Every morning, when he wakes up and looks into the small mirror in the dark room, Kwame envisions a different future, where he no longer has to worry about money, where he can create jobs for people as poor as himself. Kwame's greatest aspiration is to open a large waki store, a business that can help poor workers like him achieve a better life. He imagines a spacious place where those in need of work can come, where they can live and work with pride instead of being forever trapped in poverty. Although the path to achieving this dream is fraught with difficulties, Kwame never gives up. He believes that as long as he has perseverance and a righteous ideal, he will find a way to rise up and change his life and the lives of those around him. However, despite having great ambitions and enthusiasm, life was never simple for Kwame. His early years were filled with constant difficulties and challenges. Every day he had to face hard labor, sometimes just to earn enough money for a full meal. But he never let those things discourage him. With every penny earned, no matter how meager, Kwame always set aside the majority to help the impoverished around him, those with whom he felt a deep connection. He understands the feeling of having nothing in hand, no bright future, and that is the motivation for him to resiliently overcome all difficulties. Kwame's aspiration for a large waki store seems to always be present in his mind every day. But that dream is not always easy to reach. He not only faced financial shortages, but also had to fight against the lack of resources and opportunities. In the rare moments of rest, sitting on the old wooden chair in his small room, Kwame would outline plans, imagining a future where he could take control of his own destiny and help the community. Although he didn't have much capital, he knew that relentless effort would create opportunities. Every time he sells a waki plate, he gets a little closer to his dream. He understands that it is impossible to change life without starting from the smallest things. Therefore, even though he has not yet been able to achieve that grand dream, Kwame remains persistent and continues to develop his walkie selling business on the street corner. For him, it is not just a means of livelihood, but the first step, the foundation to build the future he has always longed for. Even though he cannot foresee the future, he still believes that one day he will see his walkie plates not only being sold in a small corner of the street, but also in large stores where poor workers can find opportunities and hope. With Zara's help, Kwame's life and work began to turn a new, promising page. Zara, a smart and passionate young woman, saw the potential in Kwame's walkie stall from the very beginning. She not only helped him improve the walkie recipe, but also collaborated with him to create new dishes, offering customers a unique experience. The combination of Kwame's talent and Zara's creativity has created a small brand, but strong enough to attract the attention of many people. One day, while they were busy at the walkie stall, an unexpected piece of good news arrived. A major company in the city had contacted them and offered to provide food for an upcoming important conference. This is an opportunity that Kwame and Zara cannot miss. They worked day and night to prepare the perfect walkie, hoping to leave a lasting impression on the conference attendees. And then the conference went beyond expectations. Their walkie plates were praised to the skies, and immediately a series of large orders were sent in. This event not only helped them affirm their craftsmanship, but also opened up new opportunities to develop their brand. With that first success, Kwame and Zara decided to open their own walkie store. Not only did they stop at selling food on the street corner, but they also wanted to create a more professional space where customers could enjoy their meals in a comfortable and modern environment. Their walkie brand quickly became famous in the city, and customers from everywhere came to enjoy the special dishes they offered. Their lives gradually became more stable, both in terms of emotions and work. The tireless efforts of Kwame and Zara have borne fruit, and they have begun to dream of a brighter future. Every day that passes, they feel happiness in their work and in their love. From the hard days with simple walkie dishes on the street corner, they have now built a successful brand and a deeply bonded relationship. Both share joy, sorrow, and grand dreams, knowing that they are on the right path to make everything a reality. Although they have achieved success in their careers and built a stable life, a great void always exists in the hearts of Kwame and Zara. The desire to have children, the longing to become parents, has always been a heartfelt dream that they have yet to reach. They have tried every method, from modern medical treatments to the folk remedies passed down by the villagers, hoping that one day luck will smile upon them. But despite their best efforts, the results were always disappointing. Each month that passes, their faith in being able to become parents fades more and more, but hope still rises within them, persistent, never extinguished. However, that longing gradually turned into a silent sorrow in both of their hearts, and it began to affect their relationship. The long nights when there were no children laughing in the house, the silence enveloped them, and the unspoken feelings of disappointment kept accumulating. Kwame always encouraged Zara, comforting her that everything would be all right, that one day they would have children. But sometimes in private moments, he feels helpless. He couldn't do anything more than quietly share the sadness with her, and that sense of helplessness was a feeling he had never been mentally prepared for. Both, despite loving each other very much, began to feel the tension in every conversation, every glance. Zara tried to appear strong, but sometimes silent tears fell as she thought about what they didn't have. As for Kwame, he knew that he couldn't do anything to change the situation, but he couldn't bear to be away from the woman he loved. The moments of silence became more frequent in their family, not because of the absence of words, but because of things that could not be expressed in words. Family life, which seemed perfect, contained gaps and unfulfilled desires. After 2 years of difficult challenges, one morning Zara felt something unusual. She decided to try once more, and the result from the pregnancy test made her heart race. It was a sign they had been waiting for all these years, something that seemed impossible, but now stood clearly before their eyes. Zara couldn't contain her joy. She ran straight to Kwame, her eyes sparkling with happiness that no words could fully express. When she told him, his face lit up like the sun breaking through after a long rain. They embraced each other in happiness, and their laughter echoed in the small house, as if this world no longer had worries, only boundless joy remained. Finally, they have the child they have longed for. Both of them couldn't believe their eyes when they saw the result, as if a miracle had happened, erasing all the bitter and sorrowful days. Those longings have now been realized, and that happiness is beyond words. Zara and Kwame found each other in moments of silence, and now they will continue together in joy with the little angel they have been waiting for. The day Zara gave birth to a healthy baby girl named Amma, the whole family erupted in joy. Amma is not only beautiful but also intelligent, and from her early days, she has shown a brilliance beyond everyone's expectations. Kwame and Zara looked at their beloved daughter with proud eyes. She is the culmination of all the hopes and dreams that have been nurtured over the years. Amma is not only the pride of her parents, but also a symbol of love, resilience, and the miracles that life can bring when we do not give up. With the birth of Amma, everything in Kwame and Zara's family seems to be illuminated. The past pains and disappointments now seem like faint memories, giving way to overflowing joy. Their future now has become open and full of promise, like a perfect painting they have created together. When Amma turned 5, their family's life was once again turned upside down. One morning, while Kwame was playing with his daughter, he suddenly collapsed right in front of Zara and Amma. A severe pain swept through his body, and despite trying to be resilient, he couldn't stand up. Zara frantically called an ambulance, but when they arrived at the hospital, the news the doctors delivered was like a nightmare. Kwame was diagnosed with a rare disease, a disease that current medicine cannot cure. The feeling of disappointment and despair enveloped the entire family. Zara stood by Kwame's hospital bed, her hands cold, her heart heavy with an unspeakable worry. She looked at her husband, the man she loved more than anything in the world, lying there with a weary expression, his eyes filled with sadness, as if he already knew what was to come. Zara decided not to tell Amma the truth. She didn't want her precious daughter to face a heartbreaking truth, and she didn't want to shatter the trust in the innocent girl's eyes. Zara only told Amma that her father was just tired and needed some rest. But even though Zara tried to hide the truth, Amma, though still young, sensed the change in the family's atmosphere. The little girl noticed that her parents no longer treated each other as before. The smiles no longer appeared every morning, and the loving conversations between them seemed to have vanished. Amma started asking her mother questions that Zara didn't know how to answer. The little girl asked why her father no longer played with her, why her mother no longer smiled, why they were silent and sad every time they looked at each other. Although Zara tried to soothe her child's worries, her heart tightened every time she looked into Amma's innocent eyes, because she knew that she couldn't hide the truth forever. The moments of silence, the gaps in the conversations between Kwame and Zara, the days devoid of joy as before, all create a heavy atmosphere, compressing the hearts of each family member. Meanwhile, Kwame's health condition is deteriorating, and with each passing day, the fear for their family's future deepens. On Kwame's funeral day, a somber and heavy atmosphere enveloped the entire village. Everyone stood silently around the coffin, eyes red, hearts heavy as they bid farewell to the man they cherished. Zara stood nearby, her hand gripping her daughter's shoulder tightly. Amma, the little girl who still couldn't fully comprehend this pain, but her sparkling eyes reflected a profound loss that words could not express. When the funeral was nearing its end, Amma unexpectedly stepped up to her father's coffin, her small hands trembling. With eyes full of love and longing, the little girl looked up at Zara and gently said, "Mom, I want to hug Dad one last time." Zara, although in pain and fear, seeing the strength in her daughter's eyes, could not refuse. She nodded and took a step back so Amma could approach her father. Amma slowly embraced the coffin, pressed her face against her father's, and quietly whispered words of love that only she could understand. The little girl didn't cry, but her hands tightened, as if she wanted to hold on to all the beautiful memories she had of her beloved father. It was a deeply emotional moment, but suddenly a strong wind rose up, blowing through the silent cemetery. The yellow leaves fell, curling in the silent space, And in that moment, a white dove flew down from the sky, gently landing on Kwame's chest, right where his heart once beat strongly. The appearance of the dove left everyone present at the funeral astonished. No one understood what was happening, but the atmosphere in that moment became strange and mysterious. The people standing around looked at each other, their eyes unable to believe what they had just witnessed. The wind, the leaf, and the white dove all created a scene that resembled a miracle, as if Kwame were still present there, sending a message of comfort and hope to his loved ones. Amma stood still for a moment, her eyes gazing up at the sky, then gently said, her voice choked with emotion, "Papa sent it." The girl's words were like an affirmation, an invisible comfort for the entire family and those present at the funeral. And in that atmosphere filled with wonder, Zara felt an unusual peace, as if Kwame's loss had been replaced by a new belief that the love and memories of him would never fade away. Amma's words, gentle yet powerful, were like a wave soothing the hearts of everyone present at the funeral. The phrase, "Papa sent it," is not just an innocent explanation from a child, but also a profound message about love and continuity. In that moment, those present at the funeral felt Kwame's presence, as if he were still there, watching over and protecting those he loved. The comfort that Amma brought eased the pain in Zara's heart and in the hearts of Kwame's friends and family. Even though Kwame has passed away, his love remains like an invisible embrace, wrapping around everyone. Time passed, Amma grew up, and the memory of her father always lived in her heart. She became a strong woman, not only because she had overcome the pain of loss, but also because she understood that love never truly fades away. She always keeps the image of her father in her mind, and in the stories she tells her children and grandchildren, the tale of the magical white dove remains an indispensable part. Every time she recounts that story, her eyes light up, filled with the belief that the love between a father and child will never fade. Amma believes that even though Kwame is no longer here, his love always finds a way to endure like a miracle, like an invisible connection passed from one generation to the next. Amma teaches the next generations that love is never limited by time and space. It can overcome all challenges, all sorrows, and always finds a way to be expressed in whatever form. She believes that the white dove is not just a coincidence, but a symbol of the unconditional love her father left for her and for the whole world. And so the story of Kwame, of the love between him and his family, lives on through each tale told by Amma, through each gaze filled with hope and faith in a love that never dies. The story ends, but the message it brings continues to live on in everyone's heart. The love that Kwame had for his family did not end with the moments he was alive. It continues to exist eternally, transcending both life and death. Even though losing a loved one, the memories of them, the sweet and loving moments, will forever be etched in the minds of those left behind. That love, even when tested by time or the pain of loss, will never fade away. It is like a smoldering fire, not extinguished, but continuing to illuminate the path for those who are still alive. Amma, despite growing up and going through many years, still carries that love with her in every step she takes. She has learned that true love has no end, it only changes form. Even though her father is no longer present, his love is always a great strength that helps her overcome the difficulties in life. Whenever she looks up at the sky and sees a white dove flying by, she remembers the days spent with her father and believes that he is still somewhere, watching over her. The story is not just a lesson about loss and sorrow, but also a powerful message about life after death. It reminds us that love will always exist, regardless of any separation that may occur. When we love sincerely, that love will never fade. It will live on in our hearts, serving as a source of motivation for us to keep moving forward, bringing hope for the days to come. And that is the miraculous strength that helps people overcome all challenges, overcome all pain, and find light in the darkest moments of life.